Hi everyone, me again in lovely Ironhorse Motorcycle Resort in Stokoe, North Carolina. Got my lovely wife leading the way, Gary Johnson, in number 2 spot, and I'm pulling up the rear. Gary's one of the hootenanny guys that came here on the second hoot. We met here a couple of years ago, and he came down from Kansas just because he found out we were going to be here. And we've been having a great couple of days so far. This is our first full day of riding, and I think it looks like we might get a little rain, but thought I'd go ahead and do some video. Highly recommend Ironhorse if you're in this area of the Dragon, Robbinsville, North Carolina, Fontana Dam, that kind of area. Caters nothing to motorcycles, and you can camp here, which we're doing, and as long as you got a bike, you can come. And they have food, they have really great facilities, and it's our preferred place to stay here. So check them out, Ironhorse Motorcycle Resort, Stokoe, North Carolina, excuse me. Getting my states mixed up. But anyway, thought I'd shoot a little video. We'll see how it works out. Wanted to get just a little bit, if nothing else, up here at the trip. We've got iffy rain for the next couple of days, so I'm not sure how much riding we're going to do or how much good quality video I can get done. So we'll give it a try, see what happens. We're going to work our way into Robbinsville, which means going over the top of the mountain, which means we might get wet or we might be in the clouds. We'll see here in just a bit. And I'm just going to let the video run, and we'll see what we end up with. But anyway, can't thank Gary enough for coming down, joining us. We had a great time a couple of years ago. He was the one on a Bergman 400 chasing me down the mountain from the Cherry Hollow Skyway. Wore my front tire completely off this thing, trying to stay in front of him, and we had a good time. He also motovlogs. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. He hasn't been doing much lately, but he does have some videos on there I'm sure you might want to take a look at. Nice is one of the nicest guys. You know, it's like everybody we meet on motorcycling. Everybody's nice, and Gary's one of the nicer ones. But as you can see, they've been doing a little bit of work around here. Beautiful green. I mean, they've had some rain up here. It's really greened up. Uh-oh. My wife's doing something. Got to take her helmet off, do something. Oh, she's getting her hood up. Alrighty. Yeah, she is prepared, fully prepared for rain. She's got her complete rain suit on. I don't. So I'm probably going to get wet if and when we do hit the rain. But we'll see what happens. But beautiful, beautiful area. Kind of down in a little valley here, and you'll see when we get out on the road. You'll get a better look at it, but we'll see what's going on here. Gary had to ride all the way down from his home in Kansas. It was a 2-day affair for him, and I forget how many hours he said. It probably could have been 18, 19 hours total on the road. I'm not sure how long it took him, but 2 full days. And he met up with us yesterday. We both showed up here about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and got a chance to ride a little bit, although he was pretty worn out from riding all day. He was a good sport, and we rode down to the Nantahala Whitewater Center, where the Olympics were held here one year, and got a chance to look at that real quick last night before it got dark, and went back, had a lovely meal my wife had cooked, and now we're, after a hearty breakfast, we're intrepid motorcyclists, and we're off again. Got something going on down there. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're working hard at it. Beautiful area out here. Some nice views, some elevation, some curvy roads. About 20 miles away is the Tail of the Dragon of fame and fortune. And I don't think we're going to ride the Dragon today. Gary had to come in that way. He had never ridden the Dragon before. He didn't ride it when he was here before, when he had his little Bergman. And he said it was a real workout on the Spider. He did not looking forward to doing it again. So we're trying to figure out another way for him to get back to Kansas. He's got to leave tomorrow so he can get back there by Saturday. And we'll figure out a plot for him somehow, some way. Get there. Got a little bit of rain coming up on my visor. Hopefully it won't get on the camera lens too much. Mess things up. And this is the little, we won't ride up in the town, but straight ahead of us, back up in that way, is the town of Stokoe. And that's a real cool little mountain town. And a bunch of old buildings. I got a picture of my bike taken in front of one of the buildings there. And really kind of cool. But they're building here. Doing a big RV camp, going to be right over here on the left. And that'd be nice for some folks. We like Ironhorse. We'll probably stay there as long as we can, often as we can. They don't have an awful lot of area for people that want to camp or RVs, but everything from tent campers all the way up to a really nice suite of rooms you can rent here, and again, it's all first class. We're going to climb the mountain here and take a left and head toward Robbinsville and gas up. We're all down below half, and so before we're going to go ride anywhere, we need to get a little go juice. I'll shut up for a bit, and you can just enjoy the scenery around here. Better than even chance we're going to run into some clouds as we go up over the gap to head back down into Robbinsville. But and again, we got a little bit of sprinkles, but that's nothing really bad yet. We'll see how it goes. This is our first trip with the camper up here to this area, the Robbinsville area, Stokoe area, and last night everything worked like a champ. Sleep's good. We were warm and cozy all night. Here's our turn up here. Now if we go straight from here, we go to the Fontana Dam, and then through the little town, the Fontana Village, where we've stayed before. Shot some video there before. And then on to the Dragon eventually. Right now we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna head to Robbinsville, which is over the mountains here. It doesn't look too bad right now. Maybe maybe the clouds are up a little higher than I think they are. But again, I'm getting a little bit of light rain on my shield. You see, I took my windshield off. Down in Atlanta, it's so hot. It's already starting to get too hot for the windshield. And up here, it's probably going to be 72 today as a high. Be in the 60s most of the time, so I'm all geared up. I got on my leathers, I got on my good insulated riding jacket, some decent boots and gloves, full face helmet with my shield, so I think I'm gonna be okay. My lovely wife didn't bring her full face helmet. She doesn't really much like to wear it anyway. It's pretty heavy, so she's gonna just make do with what she always rides in, along with a tiara. might be hard to tell. We're climbing pretty good. Up here over to go over through this notch here. And, we got a little ways to climb yet. Lovely wife's picking it up a little bit. We let her go first. She likes to set the pace. She doesn't like to lead, but she does like to set the pace, so that kind of defaults to her being up front. I can ride up front, but I end up invariably pulling away because it's like just the dynamics, the difference between the Spider and this Yamaha. On these big, wide open sweepers, especially going down the mountain, it's real easy to pick up a lot of speed with this, and it's effortless to come down through the mountain. But a little bit different with the Spider. There's no leaning with the Spider, so it's all by the arms. You gotta turn the handlebars to make it turn, so there's no advantage to having the nice sweepers and things like that. The effort's the same no matter what you do. What I love about two wheels, you just lean it and it goes around the corner. Now, I love the Spider too, don't get me wrong, but it's a whole different riding experience. Alrighty, we made the top without getting any clouds. Now we just head down into the town. So far, the only thing is it's a little chilly. I think we're probably in the low 60s so far. I know that's not cold, but you know, when it's been 90s in Atlanta, that much difference in temperature makes a difference to us. Gary's I think lived in Minnesota before, so I don't think this is going to be a problem for him. He's got all his gear. He just recently bought the Spider, this you see in front of us. And so far he likes it a lot. You get older like we are, and I'm not saying Gary's old, you get older like we are with it. Three wheels is a real comfort sometimes, especially when you're going slower around town, and even on the Dragon. I've gone faster on the Dragon, on the Spider, than I have on this bike here, just because of the low speed handling. Cornering ability. Does a good job. But I still love my old Yamaha. Yes, I do. You're a good old girl. My wife got to talk to Gary's wife last night, Pam, and they had a nice little conversation. Never met before. First time they'd ever even spoken. I think Gary does follow us on Facebook. So he gets, and that's how he found out we were going to be here this weekend, or this week, excuse me. And we do keep up with each other. Like I said, he's on YouTube. He's a motovlogger. He sees. I've been pretty slack. I haven't been putting out much lately, but he sees it and comments on my stuff. I believe it's been about 9 months since he posted anything. I'm not sure. He's kind of like me. He just kind of gets busy and other things on his mind. Doesn't get a chance to get out and ride. Where he is in Kansas, he said it's very flat, and so he doesn't have this kind of elevation change. Just miles and miles of open roads. I can see there'd be fun in that as well. You see, they had a good bit of rain this winter. Everything is incredibly green and lush up here. We're really wildly overgrown, to be truthful, and but just gorgeous. We'll be in Robbinsville here in just a bit. Got a little ways to go yet. I guess Robbinsville is the closest little big town to the Dragon and to where we're staying in Stokoa. That in the Nantahala area. Bryson City's up the road, but that's a ways away. So groceries and hardware and food and things like that. They got some good restaurants. The Hub is a good restaurant for a sandwich. I think it's Lynn's Place is a good, family meal type place. up here a year or so ago with my buddy Chris, and he's actually thinking about moving up to this area. And we came up here and looked at several homes that were for sale, and very reasonable. Some nice places up here. Be a great place to have a vacation home or even retire to. I could see living here year round. Certainly wouldn't be bad deal. The riding sure wouldn't suffer for it. And maybe someday we'll get a chance to do something like that. Right now we're real happy with the camper. You know, get to come up here and visit and then still go back and be able to look after my wife's mom, spend time with her, make sure she's doing okay. Everything's okay. Okay, coming into Robbinsville. I'm gonna get a little go juice and then we're off again. Talk to you in a bit.